Those that are coming in love and light, high vibes and positivity, greetings, welcome, and come on in. Those of you, again, coming in, good vibes. Good, 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 good vibrations. Those of you coming in benevolence, greetings and welcome. Come on in. I'm going to stall just a little bit. But if you're coming and deciding to stay, could you do me a solid, start supporting? I appreciate the support and positive, truly divinely guided positive energy. Because if you're staying, chances are there's someone else that may want to stay as well. So do me a solid, those of you who are staying and those of you that are here in good energy, okay? Anywho, this is going to be just a little mini share here. And it's going to show like what the process of amends is like. And it's going to share like some very uncomfortable types of scenarios. Okay, and so I'm just sharing this for the collective out there, like just to kind of reiterate what we've been learning about true remorse, when people are seeking forgiveness, when it's legit, when people don't. And so this is going to be a sitcom called Mom, and they're, you know, professing alcoholics, drug addicts, and they're in recovery, and they practice in their Alcoholic Anonymous groups. They have this thing called amends. You know, they get to the stages of recovery is dealing with the fuckery, dealing with the fuck shit you created. And so I like to share this because I'm shining a light, collective, hopefully to keep you in an energy of understanding that, look, don't allow yourself to continue to be tricked or fooled or stuck in any way. Because if these individuals can do it, then anyone who is really looking for transformation in their lives, they can do it, even though it hurts. So I'm going to share something here. It's very uncomfortable. And see, the thing about amends, you know, people are looking for the easy way out of everything. People don't want to feel certain things. And so I'm going to share something here with you all. You all can take a look at it, but hopefully this just brings more confirmation that, listen, it's an individual affair. Okay? First and foremost, if you're a person that's feeling guided, you know, then hopefully this will show you the reality of what amends about. Okay? What it's really about versus the ego. Okay, the ego just wants to feel better, and the ego just wants to self-preserve at all costs. But amends, when it's true and when it's legit, you have to face some very dark and ugly things. So just watch.
We're just annoying. Where the hell is Marjorie? This is nice. You got your own fortress of solitude.
Yeah. Felt like I needed to be alone with my thoughts. Then I thought, now I'm alone with my thoughts. And then my thoughts said to me, why are you leaving us alone with you?
And next thing you know, I'm bailing you out instead of your wife.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
Beats the hell out of me. I started making my amends. Number one on the list is dead. It knocked me sideways, and then I got in my first bar fight of our new century.
That still doesn't help me understand why you didn't call Bonnie.
Because Bonnie couldn't understand why I was upset.
And neither can you.
You know, Bonnie's always talking about how helpful you are. When does that part kick in?
When you get honest about what's really going on.
Oh,
How's
that's
it going?
Well, one thing might be it, might not. I didn't tell her the whole truth about what happened with Ashley. You're gonna play it that way, huh? Okay. We broke up because I slept with somebody, and that somebody was her mother. I'd appreciate if you wouldn't look at me right now.
I'll stare into my coffee. Go on.
I didn't sleep with her once, I slept with her 7 times. You might want to grip your seat for this moment. There was one day where I slept with them both. amends to Ashley.
Not direct amends, but you can make a living amends. We don't do this to stay in the guilt and shame. We do this to move
The
forward.
person he needs to make an amends with is dead.
So how do I do that?
You can start by living differently so that it never happens with anyone else.
Well, I already do that.
Maybe part of living differently is being honest with Bonnie. Even if it's hard, even if it hurts.
Oh, it's kind of hard.
At this point, it'll hurt either way.
Hear what she said? It's gonna hurt either
For being
way.
here. If I can ever do
Sorry
anything
about the
to repay
background. You guys hear my son probably.
You can lend me this
Probably
thing next
echoing
time
too,
there's a
so
music
sorry.
festival. I can't even go anywhere because I have to pee too much. So, to review, you cheated on Ashley with her mother. You cheated on her mother with Ashley. You chose not to tell me those facts. You got arrested in a bar fight and then called Marjorie instead of your loving wife.
To be fair, those events took place over a 40-year period.
Still stings.
You're right. I'll add you to the list.
No, you already have a Bonnie on your list. This one's gonna need jewelry.
I should have shared with you first.
Why didn't you?
Because I was ashamed of myself.
Okay.
Ashley and her mother ended up not speaking, and that was all on me.
Honey,
You sit in those meetings and you hear all the ways that people have hurt each other, and you start thinking about all the stuff that you've done that you're not proud of. I mean, I felt so awful about so many things, and I started to worry. How can Bonnie ever feel the same way about me again? I like the way you look at me. I don't want that to change.
oh, after all the things you've learned about me over the years,
So he just got to the very core of what a lot of people struggle with. Not to say it makes it right or okay, but in this situation, he was being vulnerable and transparent with the real truth was he was ashamed. And so it was easier, okay? He was ashamed of his conduct, what he had done, and he felt that if he were to be honest, then Bonnie was going to look at him differently if he were to come and like tell her like the legit shit that actually happened. And this, for those that are sincere, so we're not really talking about maybe the people who aren't sincere to begin with, but for those that are sincere with wanting transformation and change, they can get stuck at the same spot that Adam did, right? He didn't want her to look at him different. He didn't want the gaze in her eyes to look different once he just laid it out there and said blah, 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 blah. But amends is necessary for healing. What I'm hoping that people catch with this is, yes, he had to squirm through that. He had to sit through that sweating. It was, the walk of shame, or should I say the roll of shame, if you will. Okay, pun intended, because he's in a wheelchair. Okay, just a little humor there. But he had to sit through the uncomfortableness, not knowing her response, not knowing what kind of expression she was going to have, right? He had to, in the moment, just almost forget about his personal need in a sense of needing to feel comfortable, hence why he kept the secret. So when we're wondering about true amends, these are people that are seeking true amends understands this. People that are pretending, it's hard. Okay, because of that walk of shame, that the humble pie, the reveal, happening to sit and say out loud in a person's face, I did this, without editing and without making excuses for it. It's humble pie. So that's what it should look like, collective. Okay? And it should be something you can sense and feel and be legit and authentic. Anything shy of that, people are just trying to buy time. They're trying to get in your energy. They're trying to see if you're stupid. They're trying to, you know what I'm saying? Anything shy of people coming at you this way with true transparency, authenticity, sincerity, and remorse. Accountability for conduct in totality. Anything shy of that is a bunch of foolery, and you shouldn't fall for it. Okay? Keep your boundary up and keep moving forward. Okay? And it's something that can be done. So if you're ever in the mind of thinking, it can be done. Yes, the fuck. Yes, the fuck, bitch. It can be done. It's just the difference between those who are legitimately wanting it and then those who aren't. Those who know how to step into the maturation and maturity and say, hey, shit, I'm uncomfortable, but I did some uncomfortable shit. This is called growing up. And growing up doesn't just have to do with chronological age and toys we've accumulated, jobs, homes, properties. It's development, people skills beyond ass kissing and just trying to hustle. Everybody lands in that seat at some point. Maybe not in the situation he's in, but needing to do that. Now, he's married to her, right? And see, here's the good thing about healing relationships and things of that nature. No, we don't always get what we want, but there's potential when we're able to be open and honest. There's potential for true healing in situations. When people bypass that, then they forfeit any kind of healing for themselves, right? The person that is seeking out the amends. Because remember, earlier when I did, somebody said, well said, thank you. When I did you guys reading earlier, those of you who were done wrong, that resonated with it, you guys are being gifted release, okay? People didn't apologize to you. People didn't own up to their shit. People held back, apologies and so forth. But you all, since you guys decided to close the cycle out and learn your perspective lessons, whatever that was for you, your team is granting you release. That's closure without the amends. But what happens to people like, in his situation where you need to make an amends, if he were to keep that stuck, that was eating at his soul. So a part of him coming out wasn't just, okay, Bonnie deserves the truth. It was also cathartic for him. Because even though he may put on a good show, he may try to drown himself with, life and so forth, he was being haunted by his conduct. You can't get away. I tell people this all the time. I laugh because it's like, okay, you can try. Eventually it's like crash. It's a crash because you can't. It's an energy. You can go do drugs, you can do sex, drugs, rock and roll, parties, buying more things. Y'all know how humans are. We find new and innovative ways to distract. But at the end of the day, when we're alone and we ain't got nobody to front in front of, that soul, when the TV just ain't working, when that one movie ain't working, that one drink a bourbon bitch, scotch bitch, you know what I'm saying? Whatever people do, boom bitch. You know what I'm saying? A little weedy, little wine. You heard? It ain't cutting it no more. You heard? Some snacks ain't cutting it no more. See, it gets there. It gets there. Amends is about healing. This is why you all hear me make jokes and I kind of smirk. If only you guys could see my face sometimes. Because so many people out there trying to act like they're these mature individuals and they're just wanting healing, and but their behavior screams different. Screams it. They can put on the act, but their behavior, right, screams lack of maturity, lack of understanding, lack of development, lack of a fucking heart. Not the kind of heart we purchase so we can look wonderful for social media. I'm sorry I had to go there. Because that's the times that we're in. Everybody looks that way online. But let's get behind the curtain. Let's go behind the scene. When the cameras are not around. See, that's going to tell you the real. When the paparazzis aren't there, when the people that we're looking to impress, because we feel like we're going to get some kind of tangible benefit. When we think nobody's looking. When we think it's a person and a soul that don't matter and don't nobody care about, so we think we can treat them shitty. But we think we're better than. See, that's why I've long graduated past being impressed. I'm not impressed by people's money. I am not impressed by their jobs. I am not impressed by how many homes they have. I'm not impressed by what businesses they have. I'm not impressed even what they fucking look like. I have long graduated out of there. Because I've realized some very profound truths. None of that means shit. Some of these very people be the most unstable mentally and emotionally. Some of these very people be stunted in terms of understanding human behavior, their own emotions, themselves, but they have mastered an occupation so they can work a job. They have mastered making money and having an appearance. They have mastered that, but their soul they can make money. And they can look communal narc. Oh, look at us helping, bitch. Okay. Individuals that are trying to grow and mature past that, for those like the gentleman here, recognizing his futility, recognizing the shit he was about. It wasn't an easy thing to do. This is why I tell people, I'm like, yeah, awakening ain't easy. I'm just going to keep it on the one. Because you got to face you now. This ain't just about a routine and a list of rules and regulations. You got to look at you now. You got to look at you outside of the service and outside of the reunion, bitch, and all that shit. Outside of your Instagram, your Twitter, your Facebook, all that. No, see, not many people want to do that because see, it means you got to do this. Because he had to own he was a whore. Let's just keep it on the one. He was a whore. And he did some, dishonorable things, and he played games with the people that were involved. And guess what? He had to own it. He had to own this. Not try to project and deflect and be like, well, because, and see, and so, and no. He had to own that. This is what I did. And if any soul trying to approach you in life, talking about they so changed, these are the things you need to look for. Because anybody can sit on the phone with you or in a group chat or across the desk and play sorry. We need to watch for this kind of stuff. Because people can cry you a river and crocodile tears when that heat is on that ass. Understood? They can cry you a river good and plenty. And if that's all it takes for you to think that someone is sorry and remorseful, then you're easily tricked. Have they shown you any attempts of making amends with you and anyone else that was involved in a situation? Did you hear what I said? You and anyone that was involved or directly affected. If they're not providing that, they're blowing smoke up your ass. Somebody said, phew, thanks. Right? I'm just saying. See, I am not popular in this sense because I say stuff nobody wants to hear. I say stuff people scared to say due to culture and one thing and another. Belief systems, they think it, but I'ma say it. Because I don't care. I already graduated past. I got to the frequency of don't give a fuck. I'm not looking to impress abusers. I'm not looking to impress fakes and frauds. I don't care. I don't care. Behavior, conduct, behind the scene. And when something has happened, being able to come truly clean. He was attempting to make an amends with the actual person in his case, but the person had died. But he had decided that he wanted to attempt to go to them and say, hey, you know, just putting the shit out there. Even though it was eons, it was years later. But at least he got there. I will say that. Once it was brought to his awareness. See, it wasn't that it was brought to his awareness and then he waited eons. It was eons and then it was brought to his awareness and then he was ready to act. Even though he was uncomfortable. He struggled. It was a struggle. But that's a part of healing and recovery. I'm sorry. I'm laughing because I know what this does. I know. This is a narcissist hell. Because the last thing that they want to ever do is to actually be seen for what they are. That's the last thing. They will steal, kill, rob, and destroy in order to keep up an illusion from people knowing who the fuck they really are. That's why I laugh. Because I know what it's doing. It's shattering into shit. All of their fake, dry-ass apologies. All of that stuttering and coughing. When you ask them about, let's call so-and-so, let's talk to this one and that one and let's make this right. And they coughing and scratching and you know, everything under the sun because they don't want to do it. Yeah, because it requires that mask. Take that mask off, because this is not what you really are. This is. And they don't want to do it because they're building their whole worlds on the illusions that they did spells to have. So you guys, I'm giving y'all a playbook, man. Don't be fooled. These folks are professional at a whole lot of shit except authenticity. Don't be fooled. When people are really ready to heal, they understand that it may be a painful process. They do understand that they may be uncomfortable because there's going to be some things that come out that they're not too proud of. But they understand that that is a part of maturation and it's a part of healing and transformation. Okay? So don't listen to that jazz, people talking out the side of their neck, talking about they woke, they waking up now, they ascending, they saved, whatever language people are trying to use to make you think they something they ain't. I'm changed now. No, you're not. Know how many people? No, they're not. Tell me right now. I'm not the same. Yes, you are. Behavior, conduct. These are the changes. Not just, oh, I cleaned up my life. I got an 8 to 5 job. I work. You know, boom, bitch. The standard American dream, picket fence, you know, corporate America. You know what I'm saying? No, that don't mean shit. It means you subscribe to that. But what is the rest of you? Are you still fucked up? So then you ain't changed. You still doing shit in secret? And then just let's say the I'm changed sermon speech. Because no. No, you're not. You just amped up your secrecy. Amped up your sneakiness. But you ain't changed. Don't be fooled, y'all. Remorse should be followed by sincere, tangible, authentic changes. That includes transformation, especially as it pertains to injustices. So if there was someone that involved you in some unjust things, did unjust things, you know what I'm saying, to you or to someone else, and you don't see them making true and sincere and authentic efforts to make an amends to the parties that are involved, just know that chances are they're narcissists. And I don't care what they subscribe to. Chances are they're some kind of a narcissist. They may have some kind of a mental illness. It doesn't matter. We don't need to be clinicians or diagnosed. All we need to be concerned with is behavior. So if all people can do is give you tears and promises and falling out and quoting Bibles, the Bible says you're supposed to forgive. If that's all they can offer you, then I'm telling you right now, they're blowing smoke up your ass. Because they don't want you to change, they don't want to have to change, and they don't want people to see the truth. None of us are perfect, apparently, clearly, like here. But I'm showing you guys what it looks like when people want to really change. Though it may not feel good and be the easiest thing to do, it is doable. And if that's not happening, then that should tell you a whole lot about them. Okay? And you ain't got to trip. You ain't got to stay stuck there. If you do your work, like the reading came out earlier, your team, your higher self, higher versions of you, whatever verbiage you're comfortable with here, your ancestors will be supporting you getting any bit of alchemy from inside of you. You have all of that power inside. So as you continue to stay with your journey, your own healing and ascension, whether people come through to you with these things or not, you are granted. But take your wisdom lessons moving forward, because that world card that came out earlier, it comes out when we're finally done. It comes out when we've connected some dots here. What were the lessons here for me? What did I sign up for, bitch? What was the lessons? Oh, self-love. Oh, don't just give your energy to anybody. Oh, don't just sleep with any old body. Oh, don't let people mistreat you and you still catering to them. Oh, stand up for yourself. Check a bitch if they get out of line, bitch. Oh, say, what was your lesson? Healthy boundaries. Somebody put up their boundaries and walking away. Like, no, the fuck I don't. You got me fucked up. I'll see, here I go again. Here I go. I ain't got nothing. You heard? But see, we all have different perspective lessons, right? And it's just up to us to grab them. So it's like, okay, let's heal. Let's alchemize. Okay, fuck that. Fuck them. Okay? Their failure to comply to what the soul is guiding them to do is going to be what taunts them. But you get to rise and ascend, right? In spite of all of their incessant efforts to try to keep you stuck by not giving you the apology. And let me just put you on notice with this. You don't want an apology from people who don't sincerely want to give it. You heard?